Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall. I'm your host, Armando Leduc. We're here to explore the realms of business, marketing, and life. Ready to make ideas stick and grow them into something great? Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Managing Partners Podcast, where law firm leaders learn to think bigger. I'm Kevin Daisy. Let's jump in.
Hi, I'm Brian Joels, and you are watching the Spaghetti on the Wall and Managing Partners podcast. We are live at the NTL Summit here in Miami, and I'm standing with Jayson McQuown. Thank you for being here, Jayson.
Yeah.
And where are you based out of?
Great question. I'm in the SF Bay area. Santa Cruz Mountains is where I call home.
Yeah.
The office that I work for, the company Vala, we're in the Bay Area Fremont office. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. You know, I've never been to that area, unfortunately, but I've been wanting to go because I hear it's really beautiful. I've seen like videos on TikTok and everything.
I would recommend it, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sonoma County's great. That's where I grew up. Napa's, everyone knows Napa. You know, it's a little hot, but phenomenal vino if you're into that. Sonoma's got really good beer as well as wine. And I'm in the Santa Cruz Mountains now, so it's just the whole kind of Northern California region is gorgeous. Couldn't recommend it enough.
I bet. And yeah, I really like hiking, so I mean to be able to go over there and see like the national parks and maybe the redwoods and.
Oh yeah.
Really
You go north, you get some good mountains. You go south, you get where I'm at and the redwoods in the mountains. So yeah, man, you ever need any recommendations, let me know.
Sounds good. And tell everybody out there what you do.
Yeah. So I'm the director of sales. Vala is a hosting solution. So we compete, we're a smaller cloud player, right? So we compete directly with AWS. I say that to kind of frame the audience of what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our differentiator or claim to frame, Brian, is the fact that we have governance built in out of the box,
Yes.
right? And when I say governance, it means different things to different folks. So I feel like I should explain it. What I'm referring to exactly is I can prove via attestation where your physical compute is actually happening,
Okay.
right? Which is really marrying on-premise level security with cloud agility, right?
Okay.
I can know exactly where all of my workloads are physically in the world. And then I can have those agreements in place with those vendors who are hosting that data, i.e. us, right? To feel confident that everything's copacetic, right? So as we think about that and we think about, kind of what can we do with that level of security, right? And we start thinking about, I think we're all kind of familiar with the concept that if I ask ChatGPT something, if I ask OpenAI something, if I ask Anthropic something, whatever, Google something, right? Whatever I ask, it's that prompt, whatever I'm uploading, is being used to train the next iteration of that product, right?
Yes.
And that's just automation across the board now, right? And so as we think about it in this field, right, for lawyers, if I'm doing that, if I'm using automation and I don't have a rock solid security story, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't prove where the data is actually residing and prove that it did not get leaked back to the mothership, i.e. the model provider, right? I've I have waived attorney-client privilege from my understanding. I'm not a lawyer, right? This is what I've been told for lawyers,
Sure.
right? And like, if I waive attorney-client privilege, opposing counsel can ask for all my discovery.
Oof. Yeah.
And I'm dead. And if I'm a consumer and my attorney's using artificial intelligence, i.e. an algorithm, and they don't have that rock solid security story, like it's just this something no one's talking about. Every vendor that I've talked with here they're like aware of it, but it's not a big deal.
Really?
Correct.
Oof.
You ask every vendor here what's their base model? Not a clue.
Wow, that's scary to know.
Yes. So from my perspective, it's like, okay, cool. We can either help with the lawyers, right? Which is what we've done. We just released a new product called redpill.ai. And that's essentially confidential AI.
Okay.
So I can upload, I uploaded the Bible to it just as like just to test it, right? Like it's the biggest, most well-known open source document ever invented, right? Asking that questions, getting really good answers back, right? And it's citing its work and me being able to use that as a really good use case. The lawyers who are using the tool now, are getting hit with like 600 pages of discovery. Their first court date's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have enough time to get through that. This is one of 8 cases.
As a matter of fact, we had a gentleman yesterday who talked about how he had gotten, I forget how many. It was even more than 600. It was like just an enormous workload, and they had 3 weeks to basically comb through everything.
Right.
And he says like what took them all that time then can be like done, close to instantly now by AI. Now it's not always accurate, he was saying, but to prove your point, and this sounds like a different source than even like a Chat GPT, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they have it like more honed in, but to be able to get all that information so quickly
in non-legal. I don't know about legal. I haven't looked at the plumbing of every vendor here, and I don't want to be in the business of selling FUD, right? Which is ultimately kind of what I've just did with my entire premise here. Like there's a dark cloud, and that's a negative sell, right? The positives is artificial intelligence, i.e. algorithms, are phenomenal at doing automation. They're really, really good. You just have to know that data is not getting leaked back to the provider.
Yes.
Right. And if we think about that, like if I'm Cochrane, for example, I upload all of my data to the cloud. And if that's with a cloud provider that I don't have a good agreement with,
yes, what's
stopping ChatGPT from just coming out with their version of a consumer-facing law app?
Mm-hmm.
And that's bad for every single lawyer everywhere, because that means the end user can pay $20 a month and get even if it's only 80% of their services. Like how much is a lawyer charging an hour now? You know what I'm saying? That's not good for, like, this is privileged information, and the industry should wake up.
Yes. And is this also useful, I would imagine, for other industries aside from law? Like what other industries do you guys typically work with?
No, that's a great question. So I'm here at this event specifically because we had 5 different solo practitioners sign up, and they all started just building with on our cloud, which is more of a developer aimed focus, right? Yeah. I chatted with every single one of them. I said, stop, let us do that for you, right? And we'll just release those products. You give us what you need and we will build that at no cost. All we want is to prove to you that your data is being hosted securely, right? And so that's what the redpill.ai is. We just came out with that.
Yes.
But in terms of like our main core cloud product, it's a lot of crypto developers, a lot of folks who got really rich making a lot of money in crypto and are now trying to throw their hat in the ring in the more traditional Web 2 space, mm-hmm. right? Which is a term I just learned about 6 months ago.
I'm not familiar with Web 2. What is Web 2?
Basically, just a crypto guy's way of saying traditional business.
Okay.
Is the simplest way I could describe it. And Web 3 is crypto.
Okay.
Right. It's essentially the way to think about it is blockchain. The idea was they were trying to create a new internet.
Yes.
And blockchain is so secure, it's so slow, you can't get anything done. Right. But if you have like the secret sauce to the universe, there's not a more secure place on earth to put it than at the center of a blockchain. But it's going to take you 9 years to look at it. That makes sense. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? With what we're doing and where we're hosting it, we're not doing anything blockchain. It's all cryptographic. It's like taking the essence, right? The spirit. It's all cryptographic and it's all hardware defined.
Yes.
Right. So all chips that are released now via, God, what's the big one? I'm blanking on their name. NVIDIA. I don't know why I couldn't say NVIDIA. Their chips that are coming out, AMD as well, they all come out in 2 different kind of operating modes, right? One is just the standard operating mode that anyone can build on, no problem, not very secure, right? The second operating mode is much, much more secure, and it's a lot harder to build on. Mm-hmm. We built our entire cloud infrastructure on that operating model. It's referred to as a TEE, or a trusted execution environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So I wouldn't have initially thought it would be people in the crypto space, but that makes so much sense that they would be interested in a product like that. Yeah. So
it's actually really cool about, I've never been at a company like this where my founders, they literally bootstrap themselves with crypto. Mm-hmm. Right.
And how about like even medical field where a lot of confidentiality?
Yeah, no, I've had multiple CEOs tell me who are building healthcare tech, right? And they're trying to penetrate the U.S. market. And ultimately, their vision, their goal is to reduce U.S. healthcare costs, right? Reduce insurance premiums, like help just with the sludge of the U.S. medical system, right?
Yeah.
But for them, if they don't have that same rock solid security story, right? And the issue isn't that you can't get that with AWS and GCP and Azure, right? The issue specifically, to point my finger on it, is the fact that to get the same level of assurances that we're providing out of the box with those large cloud providers, you need to have a very big stick.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a lot of weight, or else that cloud provider will just say, no, this is fine. See you later.
Yeah.
Right. And then if I'm a solo practitioner, I'm just, okay, I either have to accept inferior security and potentially risk losing my practice, or forego automation. And all my competition's doing automation. Right.
Yeah.
It's not so that's what we're trying to solve.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys are doing a great job of it. And before I let you go, where can they find you?
Yeah. So I'm here at this event. Are you talking about just like our website or
Yeah,
what?
website, social media.
Yeah.
all
So
that.
I mean, follow.com is our website. That's our main core cloud offering, and then redpill.ai. That is a chat GPT alternative, right? We're looking for feedback on it. It just came out. It's about 2 weeks old. That's the one where I was kind of giving you that the confidential AI kind of use cases. So
Excellent.
yeah, those would be the two I'd check out.
Exciting stuff. Well, thank you so much for being here, Matthew. And thank you guys for listening and watching the Spaghetti on the Wall and Managing Partners podcast, sponsored by LeDuc Entertainment for all your podcasting needs.